straight line. And as you're coming
this side,
yep, right where I'm at. As you're coming up to the pole, you're going to be lifting this rib cage up, okay, to keep him off that pole. When your leg passes this pole, you're going to keep riding a straight line. Don't let him turn, okay? He's not going to get to turn until we get his hip underneath of him. I don't want him turning on his front end. Remember when you were first on the circle and he was diving in with that shoulder? He's going to try the same thing here. But we have a goal now, okay? We have this rib cage up, and then we're going to drop this right leg back and push his hip toward the pole. Until we feel that hip step over, we're still riding the straight line. When we feel that hip step over, then we'll let those shoulders come around. So we're really working on getting that engagement in those haunches, but until we feel that hip step in, he doesn't get to do anything else, okay? So ride forward in a straight line, pick up his rib cage, get him off this pole, get him off the pole. There, now straight line. Now push his hip to me. Push the hip, push the hip. Now turn it. Reach up and forward with that hand. Don't let the hip swing. Keep the leg on and keep that hip underneath of him. Do you feel him swing that hip out after we, yeah. Pick up the rib cage. You're going to turn right this time. Now drop your left leg back. Push his hip to the pole. Hip to the pole. Hip to the pole. More. Keep pushing. You feel him fighting you? Yeah. Because he doesn't want to yield that hip. Ride him forward. Pick up the rib cage. And so we're not going to let him turn until we feel that hip step under. So left leg rolling up. Right leg comes back by the back. Straight line. Push his hip under. Push it there. Now turn it. Keep pushing the hip. Push the hip. Push the hip. Push the hip. Yes, Jody. You got to ride that hip the whole way around or you're going to lose it. Pick up the right rib cage. Roll that right leg up. Now push the hip with that left leg. Push it. Push it. Push it. Now bring him around. Lift. Keep pushing that hip. Too much inside leg. So if he's taking you to that outside, bring him back here. You're just getting too much on that inside leg. Well, and the other thing is he knows that's the way out. So he's going to be really anxious to go that direction. Okay, so when you come here and you're rolling that leg up, maybe you only need the top part of your calf rolling that leg up to pick up his rib cage. You might not need the whole leg. Okay, so pick up his rib cage. Now push his hips under. There, now bring your hands. There, ride the hip. There, that was a better turn. Now gently roll your leg up his rib cage. Now bring this hip, push it back, push it back. If he's going too far to the outside, you have too much inside leg. Lift that hand towards his inside ear. Your reign's way too long. Yep, you're having to lift way too high. There you go, ride that hip. Now, pick up the rib cage. Don't let him turn till it's correct. Now, push the hip towards the pole. Don't let him turn yet. Don't let him turn now. When that hip starts to come under, there. Now he's turning around that hip this direction. Pick up the rib cage gently. There. Now start to bring this left leg back. Push his hip toward the pole. Push it. Now let him turn. There. Now he's keeping that hip under. That's better. Pick up the rib cage. Roll that leg up. Now push his hip toward the pole. There. Now let him turn. Those are better turns. So stop for 2 seconds. All we're doing is we're saying this has to be your first step in the turn. Okay, it's also the first step in his canter departure. If we can't start putting those back feet right where we want them, we don't have any control of the horse. So the first couple turns you made, he's kicking this hip to the outside all the way around. You'd get the hip to step under and then you'd ask him to turn and then he'd just swing that hip around. These last turns were much more symmetrical and you were keeping that hip under and then letting the shoulder come around. When we take the head and the shoulder first, they drop the weight and that hip swings around to the outside. So when we're approaching these turns, we have to think about the hind leg being the first step in the turn so that we get that engagement in their haunches and he's sitting on his hind end. The same problem you're having at the canter is you're getting too much weight on the front end. They naturally carry 60% of the weight on the front end. It's not a problem till we add a saddle and a rider. Then they can't balance very well with all that weight. We got to get them rocked back over their big muscle group, which is their haunches, and we got to get them lifting their core, okay? On these older guys, they can do it. It keeps them sound longer because we start using the right muscle groups. When he's carrying all that weight on his front end, he's going to break down a lot faster than if we can get him to use this right here, okay? So let's walk it one more time before we quit. Shorten up that rein so you don't have to lift the kingdom come to get his attention. Your outside rein is way longer. There you go. And so we think about this as in stages, Jody. We've got to have him bent around the pole start to pick up this left leg.